Whoa.
Whoa.
Hey, what's up?
I hear my voice. There's a delay.
Yeah, it's not that we're gonna have a problem. I can't help it.
Uh-oh.
I had to send back my Bose headphones. So I'm on my other pair, and for some strange reason, they have an echo effect to them.
Yeah. That's gonna cause problems.
And low riders go a little higher.
What's the problem with this?
You know, we are this.
We are-ness.
Huh?
We are-ness. We are the Squares Roundtable Podcast. This is episode number 155. Welcome. Hope everybody had a great 4th of July weekend. I am Mike. And with me is Ivan.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? And we toss the ball to Jeff.
Hello.
And we back. It's another week.
Yes, he is.
We made it to the second half of 2021 already.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
The time she do fly, don't she?
Yeah. Yeah, she do. Sometimes it is what it is, or it do what it do.
Well, you know, sometimes it feels like it, sometimes it doesn't.
Sometimes I feel like the first time.
Feels like the very first time.
Yeah, so good. We have the 4th of July. Hey, Jeff, how was your week?
It's here. Yeah, you know, it was, honestly, it's been kind of a quiet week for the most part. I didn't have a lot going on because of the holiday, you know, pretty much running around going to fireworks far too many places that I really could care less about. But
where'd you go?
There's a golf club, there's one, you know, I gotta be honest, I could care the fuck less about fireworks, but my mom is absolutely like, goes gaga over that shit, and so it became one of those, you know, mitzvah kind of things where it's like, oh, okay. So we ended up one night over, I guess now I don't understand how this works. There's an Evanston golf club, and the Evanston Golf Club, and it's in Skokie, so I don't get that one. And then over in Glenview they had some, and from where we were in Glenview you could also see Northbrook.
Now, you went to 2 on 2 nights? Or went to 1 on each night on 2 nights?
Yeah, we went to 1 on each night, and you know, and then I watched Civil War because I needed to see America's ass. So, you know. But
yeah, I caught a little bit of Winter Soldier. I think it was on FX last night.
You know, it was pretty funny. I was like, wow.
Ivan, how you doing?
Yeah.
You see, when Ivan doesn't talk for a while, the ambient sound on his end increases, and then the sound of
it just sounds like he's on like a John Deere tractor driving through. Like
Sorry,
that's what it sounds like. It's like, I gotta mulch this here grass.
He's wearing his Hillbilly Jim cosplay.
Oh,
okay.
No,
Got my overalls going, you know, my old straw hat and everything.
Yeah. I'm sorry, go ahead, Jeff.
Why Ivan goes shirtless, because he's basically sitting on his John Deere tractor just driving around all over the place.
Right. Drinking his jug of moonshine.
Yeah, sitting there talking about, you know, I got this here cruise whistle to get rid of them kids playing ZZ Top again. You know, that kind of thing.
It's all good, man.
I'm trying to think, what did I really do? I mean, I certainly did a couple of rooms, and did some panel events at Clubhouse. But, you know, for the most part, kind of a quiet week. I mean, the only thing, you know, I don't know if you want to get to it now or later, but I did see the Tomorrow War.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too. We'll get into that.
Okay,
yeah.
We'll hold off on that.
Yeah.
And then I started watching, I guess it's in its final season now, and it's 7 seasons, but I started watching Bosch on Amazon.
What is Bosch? What is that?
Bosch is kind of a he's kind of like an old school detective in today's world. I guess there's a guy who's an author it's one of his characters, and there's a bunch of novels, and it's a good crime detective show that honestly it's been interesting to watch so far. I can't remember the guy's name. Who is the guy from Iron Eagle, not Lou Gossett, the kid?
Oh, I don't know the name of that kid.
The one who was like, Chappie!
Yeah. I don't remember the name of that actor from Iron Eagle.
I think it's Jason Garrick. That's who it is. So Jason Garrick is the big bad serial killer, and it works. I don't know why it works, but it works. And it's been interesting. Like I said, it's been fun. It's been an interesting watch. And I'll continue to check it out. And, so far, very, very interesting. I've enjoyed it. So, I'm trying to think of anything else off the top of my head other than that. I don't think I've got much anything else other than, because of the holiday falling on on a Sunday, we didn't do Sunday Night Stories, and so kind of it was a quiet weekend in some ways.
And there was not much. I think Fast 9 still toppled. Is still number one this weekend, I think.
Oh, is it? I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't check. But no, there's no movies I'm willing to go out to the theaters for yet. They're coming though, soon. I'm just more interested in what's coming out on streaming than it is in the theaters. So I'm not. I'd be okay to wait until Christmas to see Spider-Man in the theater. That's me, honestly. But no, I don't think there's anything else that
when is the?
There's nothing outstanding that you would just go right to at this moment.
No, you're right.
When's Top Gun Maverick coming out?
That's supposed to be Christmas time. They pushed that to Christmas time.
Oh, they pushed that back.
That was on one of the cable channels the other night.
And then, Sing 2 is coming out at Christmas time too. Sing 2 is coming out.
Yeah.
All right, we talked about that last week.
Yeah, we talked about that last week. Yeah, that trailer's good.
We were like, it's coming out this what? No.
I'm just kind of attached to it because, it's like, here it is. When you want to see the first one, it's like you go back thinking...
Oh, yeah. How did that go?
Did you see the first one, Ivan?
No, because of the fact that I was trying to find it on Netflix, and they didn't have it. And just, it was just one of those forsaken things where you're just, like, trying to find the best way to try to get it, but wasn't happy for me, guys. I'm disappointed. So sorry. But, I did have a lot going on this weekend, though, as far as, like, getting back out there and spinning some tunes. I was doing a lot of that. Friday was over at the Cafe Mustache, and that was well attended. I was quite surprised, and it was just a beautiful vibration. And it was a lot of fun. Real good time. A lot of old friends came back, and
was it orgasmic?
It was just everything just coming in, and it was a nice evening. I was doing surf music. I was kind of like, I even brought in my own DVDs of like those old cheesy beach party movies. So we were running them in the in the televisions within the framework of the bar, and just kind of spiced it up that way. And we dimmed the lights real nice. Yeah, we all fed into that whole vibe, and everybody dug that, and that was a lot of fun. And then let's see. And then I did I wore myself out on that one, man. It was like, I couldn't. I was just feeling so bad, after I did it because I poured so much into it. It's kind of like when you're out of training. It's like, when you don't do the usual thing out in the public, after a while, it's kind of like things are kind of stiff. Yeah. So it was just like, okay, but I made it through, and it was cool. And I just, begged for forgiveness, and I knew what I was going to do to the Spinning Wheel Super Spectacular Sunday session, which I dedicated my Saturday session into my Sunday session. And then from there, I did a private event after that, which was really very cool. So I don't think I've ever done anything like it. I mean, it was in a nice family atmosphere, and it was just wonderful experience. A friend was, who I had done a gig for before, and he's like, hey, can you, do one like this, for the 4th of July? I'm like, yeah, sure. And, it was a thing of beauty. It was really very touching. It was a very happy place, on Sunday. And, so as far as, everything else, just kind of rolling right along, and just trying to just keep the groove going. Let's see, I got a thing happening on Thursday over at Save More Liquors. We're doing Mundo 80s. We're doing all 80s all night, which that's going to be a lot of fun. Got a lot of great 80s stuff that's going to be happening. So if you're in the neighborhood Thursday, I start at 9. And
where is the Save More Liquors?
It's at 4060 North Lincoln Avenue.
Okay.
4060 North Lincoln Avenue. And, tell them Jiven sent you. The owner is Ellie, her name, Ellie Quintana. Very, very lovely lady. And she gave me an opportunity. I came, and it was like, wow, it was really cool. So hoping to hatch a few ideas and, see what happens from here. But very happy with the place. So, 4060 North Lincoln Avenue, Chicago. Save More Liquors. What else is there? And then I'm also doing a Chef's Kitchen, Chef Society. Another friend who referred me to this place. It's actually Asian food. So it's really exciting, and that'll be happening the 23rd of July, and that's where I'll be, spending between 9:30 to 12:30. Okay, let's see. Okay, the address escapes me, but I will get it out to everybody. But it's really, really quite the experience. It's going to be cool. I'm doing a funk soul type of thing, real heavy, honey dripping, sweaty, funky type, R&B music and soul music and those type of dance tracks and everything, the stuff that everybody tends to sample here and there of. That'll be a fun vibe. I would, bring that back out. It's been a bit since I played those records. So, so it's going to be really cool. And still trying to chase the elusive, apartment, it's like, we learn, to do the right thing. And then we find for every right thing we find there were 3 wrong things that shouldn't have happened in the first place. It's been quite the struggle. So, but, we're keeping our chins up, and, it will come. It will come. So, I just put that good vibes out there.
Why do we fall, Bruce?
Huh?
Why do we fall, Bruce? So we can learn to pick ourselves up.
Yeah. So that being said, we just, it's, upward, downward, forward. Aside from that, just living this thing called life, and trying to make it for the party that it should always be,
So your friends at the Spinning Wheel, they don't celebrate Independence Day. So how did they, was it just another summer weekend, or how did,
That's what they celebrate getting their asses kicked. That's what they do.
And
should have been dressed like Apollo Creed on the with the red, white, and blue top hat.
Yep. I mean, can't deny that. But when I was doing the spinning wheel for, my session, July 4th, before I did my, the live gig at the, the private party. And, I just gave what I would have done on Saturday, because I was totally trashed, from the...
What happened?
No way. Ivan totally trashed?
Oh, no, I mean, not that way. I mean, it was Ancient Pain City, man, and I was like, whooped. And,
how long did you spend that Friday night?
I think I did till 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
And then you were going to spin Saturday morning?
And of course, I was going to follow that with a thing I was going to do on Spinning Wheel, the new show that I started called Chicago Soul and R&B. And and I didn't figure that into my schedule set, but it was like and so I sent the apology and I said I was sorry. And then when I saw the opportunity, the records aren't going to go to waste. I'll just put them on my set for Sunday and, make it right. And it was a fun show. I loved the fact that, it's not just the music in of itself, but it seems like they're enamored with the dynamic of the information of the who did what, when, and where. They really love to learn about the music, and they're captive to that audience when you're busy telling them, oh yeah, well this is one from Fame Studios, this is Muscle Shoals, this is and whatever dozens of great studios recorded this music that they so love and desire, and so that to them it's a very they value it highly. For when it does come, when it comes to their audience, when it comes their way, and it's why not? I mean, what good is having knowledge if you don't pass it on? I mean, it's the natural thing to do. And we all learn from each other, and we all pick up things from one another, and the to and fro and the give and exchange of everything from your heart, your mind, your soul, your spirit, and everything else, and then you put the music element into it, and it's like, wow, it's a language all its own. And so it's from the first day I started at the Spinning Wheel, and when I teamed up with Jimmy Temple, and it was a situation where the management went through some changes, and then it was like, well, this is why we call it the new Spinning Wheel now, because we separated ourselves from the old Politica that was the old page. And then opened everything up, because now we just wasn't just a Northern Soul page. I mean, it was, let's open it up and let's open up the dynamic. And we have all sorts of really wonderful and like-minded people willing to share what it is that turned them on. And it's a beautiful thing when you can go ahead and you can just say, well, I heard this on iTunes. Can I share this with you? Oh, I got a cassette of that. Can I share that? Oh, can I share a Fire Stick? Can I share, whatever? And it's like, it should never be limited to how you hold on to your music. I mean, things like that should be limitless. I mean, just like everything else that's supposed to flow on this earth. But, yeah, and then since it's been this way, and, you're going to have your detractors, as in you're going to have those people that are going to look at it and try to throw things on it and try to label it and scrutinize it, and they're going to do their fair share of trying to, knock the bricks out of the wall. But, it's a good bunch of people at the...
Aside from them, they're the good people.
Well, it just... but just like with any page, this is what happens. I mean, remember when I had the record then? Whew, man, oh man. I mean, loved the concept, loved the page, but then, after a while it was just like, everybody was just trying to just make it like, oh, well, this is a nice page, okay, I'll never visit it again, and it was like, and you got all these other people that are like working and putting, ads in and putting, links down, leaving pictures, and I totally respected all of them for that. I mean, it's a beautiful thing when you give someone an opportunity to express their mind, their musical mind. And, so it comes right down to, okay, we're all trying to do the same thing here. Why is there a limitation? Why is there a limitation to any of it? Just limitation is something that, unless you impose it upon yourself, yeah, I know, sometimes it's not that you even notice that you're carrying it around. But, but you just think, okay.
Okay.
And
well, yeah, the record den, it still exists. It's out there somewhere. I don't know who's running it. Who cares? But I don't know.
Yeah.
It's out there. Do you ever go back to it?
I never even thought about it. But now that you brought it up, man, I might have to go. I might have to find out what happened after my wake.
Yeah. That was a long time ago. That was 10 years ago?
I don't. It might have been 10.
Yeah.
Might have been 10 years.
The galaxy far away too.
Yeah, it might have been 10 years. Yeah. So.
Well, it maybe pays to go. See what kind of mess you made. Or what it's become, what it's grown into.
What happened to it?
It's like, hell, it's like I left, I spilled a drink. I spilled my dinner in the basement 10 years ago, so I'm going to see what if the plate is still there, or whatever's mold is growing under the plate.
Is it as bad as it really sounds there, guys?
Or it could be that it flourished without you, and now it's a multi-million-dollar industry. Thanks because
okay. Oh my God!
Only you stayed in with it. Yeah.
No, you know what? Maybe
somebody's sitting there going, "I made millions of dollars thanks to that Ivan guy leaving."
I can't walk away because those odds are just much too high for me. It's like okay. No contest.
Did you watch any fireworks, Ivan? I mean, I'm sure there were tons of them all around by where you're at.
Oh my goodness! When I was doing the personal party and everything. Oh,
personal
I mean, there was
it was personal.
Well,
this
party,
time it's personal
with the vibrating.
Oh.
Well, it was just a nice little get together, and just
Sure
it was fun. And everything. What? Yeah, it was just a personal party. So anyway, they had their fair share of fireworks and everything, and yeah, it got loud, up close, but I paid it no mind. It was like I got lost in my musical groove, and everything was good. It was a really lovely vibe, and everyone was very happy, and I was happy that they were happy, so. It's that thing, and it makes me happy, and I enjoyed it so much, surrounded by so much life, it's like, yeah, this is part of what a DJ does, and, it has its own rewards, and, I'm just, all I can say, I guess I'm just lucky to be there. Yeah. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
I didn't do much either. Watched episode 4 Loki. We'll get into that. And, I watched the Tomorrow War. We'll get into that. Didn't go, of course I worked all weekend, so I made some money, which is good. I'll be off. It's like, yeah, everyone's all like, what are you doing this weekend, Mike? I'm like, I'm working. Cause, I gotta, pay for the.
Well, if it's any consolation, I mean, I was working Sunday too, so I share some of your burden, I hope.
Yeah. No. And let's see. Obviously worked, but the neighborhood out here was all aglow. All the hillbillies were launching all the fireworks last night. Last 3 nights.
Oh, I'm sorry. Mind if I interject this little bit of news?
No, I would not mind, Ivan. Go ahead and interject.
Okay. Speaking of fireworks, I think this just happened, or this happened a few hours ago. That the place in Indiana, I guess it was crazy somebody's fireworks, and I guess what happened, the place went up ablaze. The whole place went up. All of the fireworks firing off. Huge.
Well,
huge.
That's been known to happen.
Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Let's see.
I'm just waiting. You know, unfortunately, there's a part of me where it's like, is it bad that I really kind of root for hearing stories about people who blew their fingers off and shit like that? And,
You hear that NHL goalie died?
wow, we went from people blowing off their fingers to killing people dying.
Yeah, because he was at a party and they were shooting off fireworks and somebody lit something. He had ran whether he was running and he fell and he hit his head or one of the fireworks like hit him in the chest or something.
I heard he died in a jacuzzi or something like that.
No, I heard it was some NHL goalie. He was at a fireworks party and there was trauma to his chest.
Wow.
I don't know.
Wow.
But no, I heard there was one guy. One guy got a bad one near the face. I think it was in either Wakanda or Waukegan up by me. Got it bad. But yeah, this is the time of year. It's like when I post the picture of Batman holding a bomb over his head saying, today's the last day, somebody's going to have 10 fingers.
Yeah, that's right. I did see that.
I never had anything stronger than like black cats and bottle rockets. Growing up.
I mean, yeah.
Back when we were able to buy them at the gas station.
Well, back when I was getting, fireworks, when there was a time in Chicago, we used to have our own, distribution, and, we used to have these fireworks, they weren't like, they did a nice bang or a boom, but man, some of these things they're using now, man, like earth shattering and loud. It's almost like, somebody's detonating, a bomb or something.
I know. And when we had the park home, we had access to large fireworks displays, but we never wanted to light them off in the park because everyone's trailers and everyone's boats and decks and everyone's standing outside in closer proximity than usual. So it's safer to take them home and just set them off out in the street.
Yeah. I mean, growing up in Chicago, the alleys, provided those types of places away from, what we thought weren't anybody getting hurt or anybody getting messed up. I mean, we were in an alley, hoping that,
you wouldn't fly into an open window.
Yeah, or something. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
But, it was always, I guess it was always the care you take and the chance you take, Yeah.
Now it's all like, well, now the cat's, she was hiding downstairs and she wasn't traumatized by it. When it was over, she came back upstairs and she's all like, Christ, is it over?
Well, Otis and Marley, when things got really loud, they were like going into the spare bedroom and kind of hiding out. And then when things kind of leveled off, then they kind of eased out. And then, of course, then you got the jokers out here that say, oh, well, I just found a little bit more. They drunk ass going ahead out into the streets. Let's go ahead. Let's, pop 100, just for the sheer hell of just doing it, right? Yeah. So a lot of that kind of shit to almost like 2 a.m.
We kind of tapered off about 11 o'clock midnight because I had to be up early both mornings because Friday built on the 4th. I cut the grass at like 9 o'clock in the morning on the 4th, and it's like it's already like 1,000% humidity and 80 degrees. I'm like, yeah. But now it's summer, so in 20 weeks I'll be shoveling snow, so don't matter.
Well, and it was fine. Being out, I was outdoors. I was in the backyard. I was underneath a tent. Everybody was attentive to me and everything. And it was nice. And it was just, it was very engaging, and just, I'm like, I was just lost in a disc jockey's dream come true.
Yeah. And because we had dry weather, we haven't had an issue with mosquitoes, which is good.
Right. So it was like, we had the lightning bugs, coming around, but yeah, other than that, nothing major,
No.
So
I didn't, aside from a few out my window, and I didn't see any fireworks. I did watch the Capitol 4th on Channel 11 on PBS last night. And it's funny.
Always a good show.
Yeah, it's funny. Kermit the Frog be all like, "Hey, Vanessa Williams, I went online and I saw your penthouse spread."
Wow. Hey.
Anyway, here's the Army Choir with the Star Spangled Banner.
Feeling a little froggy, huh?
Oh, shit. Oh, my God, that's hysterical.
What I really kept waiting for when he was sitting there talking to Vanessa Williams and flirting with Vanessa Williams was for Miss Piggy to come out of nowhere and absolutely
and beat the shit out of him.
Not out of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, like she always does, man.
Although, it's always cool to hear the Rainbow Connection. So.
Hey, Mike, you heard that version of it. Do you think that was the new person, or do you think it's just a recording from Jim Henson?
No, it was the new guy. It was not Jim Henson's original.
Okay.
It sounded close.
It was pretty close.
Job.
That's why I was kind of like, it was impressively close.
Yeah.
Well, you could tell they put some care into this. That they were just wanting to keep the integrity of the character intact.
But there have been plenty of times for the person, and you guys have heard it. Like when they start trying to find new voices for like some of these characters. Mm-hmm. It's sometimes it doesn't go well.
Remember when Mel Blanc took over, or his son took over from Mel Blanc, and we're all like, we're sure there's better out there, but it's Mel Blanc's son.
The Bugs Bunny one was bad. Bugs Bunny was bad for a little while. It was like,
But I figure if anybody's going to take over, let it be Mel's son, I guess.
You know what's funny? The one that
don't get a springboard from somewhere, right?
You know what's funny? The one that's actually gotten better. It's actually gotten better than what it was from before is whoever took over for Cookie Monster. That guy is much better than the original Cookie Monster.
What? Okay.
Oh no, he's funny.
Okay.
Well, that's the way he's written, I guess. I don't know if some of that same improv or what.
Even some of the ad libs that he does, like there's the one where he talks. There's like the YouTube video where he talks about. Is it YouTube? The one where he talks about all the different types of cookies and stuff like that.
Maybe sure it's on YouTube.
And there's plenty where he's off the cuff and he's pretty good.
Okay. Then there's the one he did the Christmas song with Jeff Bridges on SNL one year.
Right, and then the Take Me Out to the Ball Game at Wrigley was pretty good too.
Yeah, I remember when that happened. What was that, 2 years ago or last year during the pandemic?
I think it was 2019.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
I think it was 2019.
By
the way, just remember, Cookie Monster is the best late night second banana, because he's Elmo's wingman on the Elmo show. I don't know if you're aware of that. HBO Max has and
then Elmo's like, bullshit, you can be my wingman. And
well, no, that's what I mean. He's Elmo's wingman.
Yeah.
I can't remember what they call it. I think it's the Not Really Late Show with Elmo because he has to be in bed by 7:30.
There you go.
It's not. In fairness, it was funny. I thought it'd be geared a little bit more towards adults. It's totally geared to kids. Even though it's like famous actors and stuff like that. It's just funny because I thought maybe
does it retain like the Pee-wee's Playhouse type of sensibility?
No, it's kind of like as if you did the Tonight Show, except it's Elmo and Cookie Monster,
and it's G-rated.
Okay,
right.
Go with this.
Right, it was as if if Elmo was like Jimmy Fallon, except ridiculously, very, very much G-rated. But it was like, it's funny because like I said, the one good joke is it's like, well, we have to be done by a certain time because Elmo has to be in bed by 7:30. I thought that was cute,
There you go.
But otherwise, yeah, no. It's funny, It's funny though, because I did go up to Milwaukee on Saturday for my great aunt's 100th birthday, and it was funny on the way back home. All of a sudden, there was this huge, like in the middle of nowhere. It was like there were cars like lined up on like one of those frontage roads on the side of like 94. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what is that for? Fireworks.
Yeah.
Fireworks. I mean, they were backed up for like a good 2 miles waiting to get up to go pick up fireworks and stuff.
Oh, people stopping at that exit to buy fireworks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
jeez.
it was...
Yeah, because all the people coming back to Illinois wanted to buy fireworks. Okay.
Man.
Ah.
I heard that there was more activity in the neighborhoods and everything for the fireworks. I don't think Navy Pier even did a fireworks this year.
Well, they did the last minute. They did at the last minute, Northerly Island. They did them, but
yeah, they played it low key. Yeah, they
waited till the last minute and then they made an announcement. At least in Chicago proper, but there were a few suburbs around that didn't do them at all, and
we're doing ours on Sunday because our other outlying towns like Wonder Lake and Crystal Lake and Woodstock, they all did theirs over the weekend. But our city is waiting for the beginning of our Fiesta Days, which is our week-long festival that we have here in our town.
Fiesta Days, is that kind of like when they have the squash festival?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Okay.
Squash festival.
This is the part where I take a knock at Mike for living so damn far in the middle of nowhere.
Well, no, McHenry County is the fastest growing county in Illinois.
Squash.
Well,
Squash Fest.
Anyway,
we're about to find out just how far in the middle of nowhere we're about to go.
It's not nowhere. I'm just sitting in the suburbs. It's not like drive 20 miles to get to the Walmarts.
Next to the cornfield.
No, not at all. No.
Well, the cornfields turned suburbs and abandoned strip malls.
I remember it used to be cornfield turned strip malls, and now it's now it's abandoned strip malls.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That reminds me of the first time I went to your house, Mike. Remember that story?
Yeah, you paid a stupid amount of money to get a cab all the way out here. It was dumb.
You know what? It was worth it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
It was worth it. Hell yeah, it was worth it. It was the best money I ever spent. Because here we are, we're still doing our groovy thing all these years later.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Speaking of all these years, I found out this year, the last weekend was the 30th anniversary of Terminator 2.
Wow.
Oh, God, T2 is 30 years old. I'm like, oh, man.
We'll be back.
Yeah, he was back. Yeah, I saw the movie in the theater 5 times that summer.
I'll be back with a walker.
That's right. With my Geritol.
Mm-hmm. I have a scooter now.
I use the Segway to get around. That way I don't have to walk.
My walker has tennis balls on the bottom.
Yeah, Terminator. No, was the last. Oh, not Genesis. What was the last damn Terminator one? Who cares? The Dark Fate. That was the one.
You know what the sad part is? You say that, and you told me that was the best one in a long time.
It was. T2. Well, it was. Dark Fate had some good moments.
Right, and then
but so did Salvation.
Right, but the irony is, I kind of laugh because it's like, well, who cares what it is? I don't care. But you said it was good. That's funny.
Yeah. But it's good. It was. I just can't remember the name of the damn movie. It was just another Terminator.
Hey,
they didn't call it Terminator 6, Terminator 9, or whatever.
To go back to something, I pulled up from Rotten Tomatoes stuff over the summer.
Oh. Rotten Tomatoes.
From Rotten Tomatoes just to see if there was anything.
I think Space Jam's coming soon.
Yeah, but see that's on Max.
And simultaneously in the theaters.
Right, so that's on Max. I mean, stuff that's out that I might be interested in is I saw the original Hitman's Wife or Hitman's Bodyguard. Now it's the Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, so I'll catch it eventually, but I don't feel the need to go running in to go see that.
Yeah, and that Reynolds Free Guy or Extra Guy?
Yeah, that's not out yet.
Yeah, that was shelved because of Corona.
Well, so the ones that are out that at least I have a twinge of interest were, like I said, Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, and maybe F9. But of what's coming here's what I wanted to kind of do. So here's what's coming out that of note. Obviously, Black Widow. We're all gonna watch together on Sunday, and that Space Jam you can see at your house. There's a Snake Eyes G.I. Joe.
Yeah, they're doing a Snake Eyes origin film to kind of help start, hopefully reboot the G.I. Joe cinematic franchise.
I don't think that's getting put to anything
yet,
streaming yet. So that'll be, although again, I'm not in a hurry to see that either.
I'm not in a hurry to see Shang-Chi, and that's in the MCU.
Well, but
that's coming in August, right? Next month.
Yeah, but Mike, that's a lot later in the season. Yeah, I mean, we're talking about this is July.
Yeah.
Like The Rock has that Jungle Cruise movie based on the Jungle Cruise in Disney. That's in late July. Suicide. It's funny. Suicide Squad is again. That's streaming. It's funny. The movie you were talking about, the Free Guy thing. That's August 13th, the same day as the Aretha Franklin with Jennifer Hudson.
I forgot about that too. Yeah.
I don't think either of those are options for streamer, and then I'm not interested, but the Candyman remake is at the end of the summer. So I don't know. Again, I don't know.
The pickings are a little slim.
Well, again, nobody.
Well, they're starting to pick up now as we get closer to the end of the year.
Right.
But I don't think as far as like financially, this year's pretty much a wash until 2022. It's kind of like
we'll see how the fourth quarter is.
Right. I think the real answer is going to come fall. Come fall around the holiday time, we're going to find out really what movies are going to look like in the future. Because there's a lot. I mean, the only thing I would be concerned if I were the studios is, it seems like there's a lot of big time heavy product that they're looking to put out late in the year that is going to compete with itself a lot. Like, I mentioned earlier about Top Gun Maverick. Okay. Well, it was funny. I'm like, when's the Ghostbusters movie? Oh, okay. Also November. It's like, okay, all these things are going to be like right on
the top. Ghostbusters. Oh, I forgot about that. I might have to go see that.
All that stuff is coming. Seems like it's right on top of the other.
They're looking at the whole holiday appeal slant on it, because it sets just that type of a market for it.
And then we're going to get all the studios are cramming all this shit at the end of the year.
Right.
And it's going to be just subject to oversaturation and just fighting for everyone's money.
Right, and it'll be interesting. What'll be interesting to see is
it's like a tremendous traffic jam.
It's gonna be the clusterfuck of the year. It's gonna be like, wow, okay.
Well, that's why in some ways I kind of laugh, because people are kind of sitting there talking about, the Hollywood types keep making all kinds of noise about how much they hate what Warner Brothers did, but the truth is that they've been smart. In the meantime, they've released all this stuff early on, and they've taken advantage of the fact that it has allowed them, when they have not had enough programming at times, to build on that, to build an audience for HBO Max that they didn't have. And HBO Max is really becoming a very viable option that isn't Netflix and isn't Amazon.
And it's not Disney.
Right. But they're, they're up there. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry. I'm on my month freebie, and I was watching for Paramount Plus, and I was watching The Good Fight, the first 2 episodes, and that's always solid.
Good.
But I don't know that I'm going to get through the whole season, because it's going to end. It's going to end at a weird time, and I'm not going to have the freebie, and I don't want to pay them. Although I could have swore I heard something about Paramount was going to bring out their stuff after a certain quick period of time when it was in the theaters to the Paramount network, but I don't know all the details right now. So, is what it is. Yeah. So I don't know, where do we want to start? I mean, do we want to talk about?
Let's I suppose we'll get into episode 4, Loki.
Okay.
We could give it a quick rundown of that.
That Tomorrow War, and then I guess we'll talk about Richard Donner, right?
Oh my gosh, yes. Terrible, terrible news. But he was 91.
Yep.
Living a good life, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, well, we'll talk about it in a little bit, but yeah, go ahead. What your thoughts on Loki, Mike? Yeah,
this was really kicked into fourth gear. The the tension was on the rise. This is all the machinations inside the TVA and Mobius doubting everything. And obviously we're gonna have spoilers for episode 4, Loki. So obviously, if anyone doesn't want any spoilers, might want to fast forward about 5 or 10 minutes. About 5, maybe. We'll just make the quick hits on it. And yeah, that was, I guess, what was the Nexus event. I was like, oh, how are they gonna, when last we left our anti-hero or a villain, or we want to call him Loki and Sylvie, and they've confirmed that Sylvie is a female variant of Loki. It's not the Enchantress.
At the moment.
An entirely different person.
At the moment, yeah. I mean, they might just even just call her the Enchantress and say, okay, that's
right, exactly.
who the Enchantress is just a Loki variant. But yeah, Loki's finally found someone, and that's what caused them to find them, because I guess self-love is what triggers the TVA to find you.
Self-love or just like Kentucky, like revisited?
So
is it incest if it's yourself from another universe?
And you're female?
And you're a woman?
Why do I feel this a bit wrong about this whole thing?
I was having issues with it. I'm like sitting there going, are we really talking about incest here?
Self-cest.
It sounds kind of incestual.
Oh my goodness.
Well, it's not like they came from the same, anyway, so they got captured and they're imprisoned, and Loki has obviously had feelings for Sylvie.
Mm-hmm.
And Mobius, and Loki spills the beans that everyone in the TVA is a variant. So Mobius is questioning everything, and he's
So do we really think the truth is that the real reason he really loves Sylvie is because he's always wanted boobs?
Well, you can always make boobs. I mean, Loki's done some crazy shit in Norse mythology. Loki became a horse, got pregnant, and gave birth to another horse.
Shit! Now there's a trick.
Indeed. Yeah. Well, that's just not in the MCU, though.
Right, wow. Yeah, because I don't think, even though there's no comics code, there might be one after that.
Yeah. So, and then like the one female guard, she's in it codes too, because the one guard that she enchanted to try and find out where the TVA is, and now she went missing, but turns out she's been executed. She's been killed. Where everyone's all like, "Oh no, her brain turned to jelly." I was like, "Nope." So yeah, Mobius finds out that his whole existence is a lie, and then the chick who was the guard who initially let Sylvie loose, and she's been on the run for some 30 years with a temp pad, going around from universe to universe, hiding from the TVA and the sacred timeline. And it all comes to a head, and Loki's stuck in a time loop where Sif, good to see Sif again. Man, I haven't seen her since Thor 2. And we thought, where the hell is Sif? When Ragnarok happened and all of the merry band, they all died.
Apparently she's been kicking Loki in the balls for eternity.
Yeah, which is fine, I guess, but didn't she appear in one episode of like Agent Coulson or was it Agent Carter? Didn't she appear in one episode of one of the Marvel ABC shows?
I don't know. I didn't watch those, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's good to see Sif is still around. She's still kicking around, kicking Loki. in the
nads.
Yeah, nads. For turn, yeah. So yeah, Mobius says, "Okay, I believe you, Loki. Let's go help free Sylvie, and let's do away with the timekeepers." And they catch him, and Mobius seems to be killed, and I was very upset. Like, man, Owen Wilson, man.
Owen Wilson died.
All I wanted was a jet ski, man.
Owen Wilson died.
Wow. So then they go to the timekeepers, and they the female guard lets them out, and they kick some ass, and turns out the timekeepers are just a bunch of animatronic leftovers from.
I'm really glad to see that the animatronics from Chuck E. Cheese found jobs.
Yeah, from Five Nights at Freddy's. Yeah.
Either the ones from Showbiz Pizza. I haven't figured out which ones they are, but they found jobs. I'm glad to see.
Yes.
Maybe they're rejects from that whole Hall of Presidents from like Disneyland.
Right.
Where
This land is your land, the sacred timeline.
Yeah, seriously. Maybe it's like the ones. Maybe it was like the all rejected Trump ones. That's the one they were using.
Gonna have one sacred timeline. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be stupendous. You better believe it. Let me tell you.
It's gonna be fabulous. You're gonna love it.
So one timeline, just one timeline. We're gonna make time great again.
Turn on the light. Can we turn on the lights? It's fucking dark in here.
That's right. So the timekeepers are just animatronic robots. And then Loki has another. They defeated all the bad guys, and Loki has another. What you call it? I suppose an intimate moment. It was a dramatic, crucially emotional moment with Sylvie, and then he seems to get hit with the vaporizing stick, and then there's the mid-credit scene where Loki's all like, "Whoa, am I dead?" And then all the other Lokis are like, "Not yet. You need to come with us," or something like that. Now that's become a meme now.
Frog?
Yeah, maybe.
Wow.
So yeah,
the one that's in like the old Loki, art outfit from the comics.
Yeah.
By the way, someone told me that city they're in is the backdrop of if the Avengers lost in the first Avengers movie.
Ooh, I need to go back and look at that. We might play one of those. I was gonna put in. Seeing as because Sunday, like Black Widow, is gonna take place between Civil War and Infinity War. I was going to have Civil War just on Sunday before we watch Black Widow.
Okay.
Just to help us get caught up.
I'm just really glad that somebody over there who writes Loki finally woke up and said, "Oh shit, we only have 3 more episodes. We only have 2 more episodes after.
And now we need to cram all this awesomeness into one episode. And seriously. Episode 3 was just... Well, I mean, they had to build this relationship between the Lokis.
Well, it's not just that. It just seems like... I mean, look, I'm all for character development, but it was like 3... And it was... I'm not getting me wrong. It wasn't...
Loki's are driving me loco.
It was... I mean, look, it was good character development. It was good inter-character play.
Yeah.
It was intriguing, but at some point you're sitting there and you're going, okay... We could be moving the plot along a little bit more.
Or they could have cut into a scene in the TVA trying to find them.
Yeah, or
that might have helped the narrative, maybe.
I don't know. It just feels
Instead of having 40 minutes of them on this doomed planet, meandering around on this train.
Armchair director.
Yeah, I mean, like, episode 4 was good, but I'm not going to say, it was better than 3, obviously. But episode 3 has its merits, too.
I take it back, Mike. I'm wrong. It's not the animatronics from Chuck E. Cheese. That's not who got a job. It's remember the
Go ahead, Jeff.
Remember the alien head supreme leader of Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, the Imperious leader from
Yeah. That's apparently that animatronic guy from Universal got a job back. So
okay, cool. Yeah, the old Cylons.
Yeah, like I said, I enjoyed this episode because they finally started doing things.
Yeah.
Which is incredibly helpful.
And the tension was building. You could feel it,
Yeah.
It was cool.
Well, until, even the moment where, like, Owen Wilson's dying, he's like, dude.
Wow.
Wow, there's colors.
All I wanted was a jet ski, man.
Yeah, you didn't say that. That would have been a good line for him to say at that moment.
Yeah. Jet ski.
Yeah, so it really does beg the question of who's in charge of the TVA, and I guess we'll find out soon enough.
Yeah,
but
2 more to go, and man, Wednesday can't get here fast enough.
I'm still putting my money on the possibility of another Loki variant. Running the TVA. Although I did see, I don't know if you caught it, I saw a postulated theory that it's the Beyonder.
I think I put $1 on that.
But the Beyonder?
I don't know who the Beyonder is.
How do you not know who the Beyonder is? You're fired.
I'm fired. I've been turn in my geek card.
The Beyonder. Okay, so the Beyonder. So back in the mid '80s, the other besides Crisis of Infinite Earths, the other major comic book, earth-shattering comic book series, maxi series was, ironically, because somebody dumpster dived over at DC and found out all this information. So Marvel was like, "Oh shit, we need to make one of these." So, and ironically, they beat them to the market with Secret Wars, and so Secret Wars was like most of the biggest characters in Marvel were all basically sucked up and brought to this battle planet by the Beyonder, and whoever won was going to get power beyond their means to do whatever they wanted in theory or something like that. And they're all sucked off to this planet where it's basically the heroes versus the villains. But
that was the gist of Secret Wars here.
That's the gist of Secret Wars. But the other aspects to that is that, at some point the X-Men and Magneto go off to do their own thing, and then they're their own entity at one point. And then the other part is that Galactus is there, and he gets swatted away by the Beyonder like a gnat. So then he's trying to basically do something where he's going to eat the planet and then go kill the Beyonder. And then, of course, there's Doctor Doom, and, well, there's Doctor Doom. That's all I'm going to say about that. So I don't want to, in case somebody hasn't read it from 40 years ago, but the point being is it would be, look, 13-year-old Jeff would absolutely die if they were to make a Secret Wars movie, a real Secret Wars movie. I don't think that's the direction they're going. But somebody floated the idea of that this is all based on this is all about the Beyonder, and I don't think it is. I think they're just grasping.
What if the Beyonder's another red herring like the Mandarin in Iron Man 3?
Okay.
Smoke and mirrors?
Well, that's what the Timekeepers were. Timekeepers were bullshit.
Yeah. Or were they? Is it just that basically they were just all there? Maybe there really are timekeepers. It's just a matter of who.
Maybe they're in hiding. Maybe they're not the real timekeepers.
Or who knows?
Yeah, we'll find out. 2 more episodes to go.
Well, see, that's the real question. I think that's my biggest concern at this point, Mike. Is we get through 2 more episodes and we still don't know what the hell the timekeeper was and who the hell was really running the TVA.
No,
so I can see them doing that. Yeah. And then I'd be kind of like sitting there going, well, this was bullshit and a waste of time.
And then I guess we're getting a Simpsons short to go with it, with the series finale of Loki.
Are we really?
Yeah, the Good, the Bart, and the Loki. So Loki is going to show up in Springfield.
Well, that's a really bad well, okay. Sure. I guess
it's just a Simpsons short. I'm sure it's going to be inconsequential, but I'm sure it might be semi-entertaining.
Although it would be using somehow the Simpsons.
It just holds true to their, their pop culture root. It's like in a lot of cases and in a lot of their episodes, they did nail it.
No, we can't have a Simpsons episode with the MCU.
Okay. Okay, but do you think it just doesn't translate well from one situation to the next?
It's just a throwaway.
Now they're going to the fucking snow globe. No, you can't do this.
Why?
You cannot do this. They're going to the snow globe.
The snow globe of the St. Elsewhere syndrome we got going on.
Yes. You can't do this.
Okay.
It's been everywhere, including The Simpsons.
Okay.
No, now the MCU will be fully tainted as if it doesn't exist. It's in this big snow globe in his mind.
Guess that
Oh, thank you. Oh my gosh, what have I done?
It's all your fault, Ivan.
I'm just laughing at the fact that it's like, great, now another thing is stuck in the
now it's the universe. Yeah, shit.
Because Disney, man, it's the mouse, man. It's the mouse.
Right, because they wanted a crossover, and now the MCU has been sucked into the Tommy Westphal universe. That's great. Lovely.
So episode 5 of Loki's dropping this week, so we'll have more answers. Maybe more questions will be answered in a day or two.
Or maybe not.
Maybe not.
Criticisms.
Well, only 2 more to go. I'm hoping they can wrap it up well enough. I'd feel better if it was 8 episodes at this point.
Would you?
Yeah, I would. I mean, I'm digging this. I mean, episode 3 was kind of meh, but episode 4 was great.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, again,
if it keeps up the momentum, I think it would be worth a while.
Yeah.
See, this is the part I don't get. It's like, I think the problem is, Loki needed to happen before Falcon Winter Soldier. Falcon Winter Soldier was 6 straight episodes of, I shouldn't say 6, 5. 5 of 6 solid episodes where it didn't really seem to deviate much.
And now we've got 3 out of 4 good episodes of Loki, so that's decent track record.
Well, I would say 1 out of 4, but that's me.
Well, overload.
No,
that's you. I know I'm in the minority. Everybody looks at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, you could have moved this along. You could have moved this along a lot faster.
Overload. Oh, we'll go overload.
So let's see. Then, like I said, it was the 4th of July weekend, and Chris Pratt has been promoting this on his social media accounts for weeks and months and months and months. So I'm like, okay, it's finally here. And saw the promotions on Facebook from Amazon. It's like, okay, so we put in the Tomorrow War, and it's sci-fi action adventure that's based on having to fight, where people from the future are traveling back through time to recruit past selves or older selves, people who've already died, or I don't know what the rules are. But Chris Pratt plays this old Iraq vet, not happy with his life. He's in a bad relationship with his dad. He's got a wife and daughter, but he's not happy with his life. And then they're watching the football game, or the soccer game, because it's soccer here. We call it soccer.
Mm-hmm.
And I figured maybe they probably switched that, because it's, if it's like the holidays in America, their TV is more likely to have on the NFL, but I think they had on soccer to appeal to an international audience.
Right.
That just seems like me, but I'm not hating it. But so anyway, the time portal opens up in the middle of this big soccer game that tons of people are watching, saying we need to recruit people from our time to fight in this war in the future, because we're going to lose, and we're going to lose bad. I mean, like everybody. So they've opened a worldwide draft, and people are going back in time, and they're spending a week to fight, and not very many people are coming back. And that event, and Chris Pratt's character, he's like a high school teacher, but of course within this news of this war that that doesn't look good for the human race, and the kids are all like, I don't care, what's the point? We're all going to die. But Chris Pratt gets recruited, he gets drafted, And he thinks for a minute, maybe I can, they put an armband on him and they can track him.
Mm-hmm.
So he can't get out of this. I mean, if he does, then he forfeits his next of kin. Pretty much his wife's going to go in his place.
Wow.
So he makes a decision. He goes to see his estranged father, and because his dad is a conspiracy theorist who lives off the grid, and maybe he can get this take removed from him, but he makes the decision to go. Is he going to do this? And he travels through time, and it's a roller coaster ride almost from the start. Because they do a jump cut. They jump, the first scene is him landing in the future, and situation is already instantly very dire. And so then they say, okay, that was 2 years, or whatever, 10 months ago or whatever. And yeah, it's action from the start, and it's part aliens, part ID4. It's part what do I say what the other one it is? Sort of, like I said, sci-fi kind of action. A little bit of Predators. Not a lot of people saw the sequel to Predators, but that's the one where with the guy from Lethal Weapon. Oh, not Mel Gibson. Danny Glover was in that.
Yeah, the second Predator.
Yeah, the second where they're fighting the Predator in the city.
Mm-hmm.
And that had kind of that vibe too. But so they're fighting these aliens, which look like dogs with big chicken legs, chicken hind legs, and they got these big tentacles on their back that shoot the spikes.
Wow, that's out there.
It's wild. They is ugly. And there's times where I'm cheering at the screen because they managed to kill these aliens in nasty ways, and it's not.
So is this kind of like a payback type of thing happening here?
Yeah, well, it was, like I said, it was Independence Day kind of popcorn action film.
Oh, well, those are always good. I like those.
Yeah, Chris McKay very much channels your buddy Michael Bay.
Yeah, the director, yeah, some of it had some Michael Bay kind of exposition and the sweeping pans. They can tell, the director's in the helicopter saying, okay, circle the cast. And those same kind of sweeping panoramics that we see in, these modern action films.
Right.
Michael Bay.
When, all hope is lost, there's this music that plays, and then all of a sudden things go, dun-dun-dun-dun, that kind of thing.
Yeah, when they're in the snowmobiles, and I'm like, one man alone, betrayed by the country he loves.
A huge dynamic. Yeah. Yes.
A huge dynamic.
Look, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I liked it.
I enjoyed it for what it was, which is it's a action popcorn movie that is pretty much, if you're going to sit there and you're going to start talking to me about this, if you're going to take apart the science and all the logic parts, then yeah, you're probably going to sit there and go, this is dumb. Great, that's fine. If you could just sit there and watch the movie for what it is, then you're gonna have a good time.
Yeah, the acting was decent. He had a bit of the feels when he meets his future daughter. Spoilers.
Well, I mean,
but yeah, it was. I enjoyed it.
Well, and they they certainly didn't.
Isn't that what it's all about anyway? I mean, you enjoyed it, man. Sounds like something I want to see.
I mean, they certainly didn't. They certainly made sure to basically spend some money on casting. I mean, there was quite a few people who I recognized in terms of casting. Like the one black guy who is a scientist was the guy from Veep, who's been on Veep, and then J.K. Simmons isn't cheap, and there was the one girl who played Chloe from 24, and then the daughter. The older version of the daughter was played by what's her name? The one who was on Chuck.
Man, you know your shit.
You remember that? You remember her, Mike?
No, I never saw Chuck.
How could you? Wow. Really?
No.
Wow, you should see that. That was pretty good. That'd be pretty good. Yeah. That's something.
But J.K. Simmons and everything. He's like a white Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, but usually he doesn't get to blow things up and shoot anything, though.
Yeah.
Whereas this time he seemed to get...
he used to get a little badass, yeah.
Yeah, he seemed to get to be a little badass.
That sniper action, man.
Versus, get me pictures of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
or quick, turn on the bat signal, let's go.
I liked him as the voice of Stan's twin brother in Gravity Falls.
I'm sure, but the point being is it's not like he gets to shoot stuff.
No,
like I said, they had their moments that were amusing. Like early on in the movie, there's a thing where Christopher Pratt's teaching his kids in his class about you can talk about anything, and the one kid raises his hand and he doesn't call at him because he's like, anybody else want to talk about anything other than so and so about volcanoes?
Yeah.
And then wait, Ivan, here's the best part. And then an hour and 30 minutes later in the movie, they're literally like, if only we had somebody who knew something about volcanoes. And Chris Pratt's like, oh, I know.
And all of a sudden, all the heroes are in the classroom with all the kids.
Like, yeah, literally, all of a sudden, like, this nerd kid that nobody wanted to hear anything about volcanoes. He's like totally like saving the planet. It's hysterical.
Yeah.
I mean,
it had some laughs. It had a bit of feels too.
Yeah, no, it did what it needed to do.
Yeah.
I'm getting the impression it's doing well. So
yeah.
I've heard rumblings about a sequel. The other part that the other part that I'll bring up here is, so Chris McKay, who's the guy who was the director for this, is also the guy who's been attached to Warner Brothers' Nightwing project that seems to have been stalled.
Uh-oh. Well, maybe this will give it a jump start.
Well, it's interesting because he did a couple interviews where he said about that he really liked the script. He thought the script was great, and he hopes that he gets the chance to make this movie. Now, if this movie, my one thing is, if this movie does well, maybe maybe Warner Brothers and DC look at this and go, hey, you know what? We got a big name director.
He can do action films.
Who made this badass movie for Amazon? Hey, let's give him a shot to do this Nightwing movie, which
So, what do you give out of 5 Yeah-Mans? What do you give the Tomorrow War?
I feel like there's enough hokey, campy stuff at times that I enjoy. I mean, for all the reasons I enjoy it, there's also those reasons why I can't give it a really great, amazing rating. I guess I'm giving it 3.5.
Yeah, I was ranging in there between 3.5 and 4 Yeah-Mans.
I mean, here's the thing. If you can put all the other stuff aside, I mean, if you can really sit there and go, okay, I'm not going to sit there and go, but they can't, but this stuff, if you can put all that aside, you could put it at a 4 or 4.5 or a 5. But if you can't, then yeah, it's really about 3.5. I mean, it's a great.
It depends on your state of mind when you're watching it.
Well, it depends on who's watching it. Like there's one friend of mine I have who will sit there and nitpick shit like that in the middle while I'm watching
science shit.
Yeah, the science shit, and I'll just look at him and go, "Can we just fucking watch the movie?"
That's why I can't watch that one with that space movie with Sandra Bullock, where she's trapped in space and George Clooney dies. I heard because it defies so many laws of basic science.
Freefall?
No, I forget the name of the film. But she was, where Sandra Bullock was trapped alone in space trying to get back to Earth.
Right.
But at least with the Tomorrow War, you got to laud them for having an original idea. Not a sequel, not a reboot. I mean, it's, I bet this would have been a good book.
I think it was. I think it actually was a book, by the way.
That's what it seems like to me. But yeah, it was, I liked it, so.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I think the only other thing before we get to the Donner stuff, so let's see. We had a Transformers Beast Wars promo that dropped.
The last series in their War for Cybertron trilogy on Netflix, the last trailer dropped today for Kingdom, which is the first one was Siege, second one was Earthrise, and the third one is Kingdom, where the Autobots and Decepticon ships have crashed on Earth and are going to meet the Maximals and Predacons, characters reminiscent from Beast Wars.
So there's that. I know there's a new Masters of the Universe trailer.
Yep, and that's dropping end of the month too.
Is that the end of the month? And then, in terms of live action, the prequel for Sopranos got dropped.
Yes. What was it? The Saints of Newark or something like that?
Something like that. Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah, that looks good.
The problem is now I have to go back and rewatch The Sopranos again.
It wouldn't be a problem for me. Maybe some from season 1 are a little sketchy, like when James Gandolfini is still trying to get his Jersey accent. There's some of those episodes where, because if you ever hear like James Gandolfini talk in interviews, they're like, "Where's the Jersey accent?" I thought he always talks like that.
I believe it's his son.
Yeah, his son. I think his son is playing young Tom.
Right. I think his son is the one who's playing the part. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they go with it. And then the only other
like a young Sylvie, a young Paulie. That'd be great.
Yeah, and then there wasn't much to it, but there was a Yellowstone season 4 trailer.
Yeah, that's coming in the fall too. I think isn't this the final season? I don't know if they're going to continue it or not.
There's talk of it being the final season.
Because then they're going to do the 1800s prequel series.
Why would you see? I don't understand that. It's super popular. Why would you?
Because it's super popular. We're going to build a Tombstone cinematic universe. That's why.
Yes.
It's making do-re-mi money, and it's westerns. Westerns are.
But now you're going back into
gonna go back in time.
Why do they always do it that way? Why is it always we're gonna go backward in time? I don't give a shit. I don't want to know. I want indoor plumbing. Some of us want indoor plumbing. We don't want to go backwards. We want to go forwards.
I never saw Deadwood on HBO.
I didn't either.
Yeah,
I didn't either.
I heard it was good.
Maybe they're just tired of paying Kevin Costner. Maybe that's the problem.
That might be part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, that could be it. I don't know. I think part of the problem is that I heard part of the problem is that the Paramount Network, which is not the same as Paramount Plus, they were talking about changing the focus of the network, and so the irony is that they're talking about changing the focus of the network, and the irony is that they have a kind of almost a hit show, and it doesn't fit what they're doing on their network. I heard something about that too. I don't know. I continue to sit there and kind of scratch my head when I hear about, they're talking about a prequel, but they're not talking about, they're talking about this could be the end of season, the end of Yellowstone when, it's a really popular show, and they're gonna do well with it. So it seems kind of crazy.
Yeah,
that's just me. So, I'm trying to think.
Ivan, I caught the trailer for that Summer Soul. Now, was that last year? Or when did that come out? That's coming out this year, isn't it?
Yeah, that is coming out this year. It seems to be making the rounds now. I think it's a pay-per-view, premium piece. It's like I said, when when Woodstock was happening and all of that was going on, and then here this event, for whatever reason, was documented and then shelved for decades. Okay, and then somewhere along the line, Questlove got involved and created this project, and he committed himself to going ahead and getting all of this footage released, and then also the soundtrack, everything that was musically done was actually recorded down on 24 track. So all of those tapes existed too.
Yeah, there's a documentary based on that from 1969.
Right, and it's extraordinary. It's a great, it's a great getting your 2 feet, just jump right in type of feel.
Yeah, I think it's in theaters and on Hulu.
Yes, that's right. And it's just it's just an extraordinary document, and just sad that it took all this time, that this whole dynamic was formed up until this point, and you're like, wow. It's beyond words at points. And the fact that all those people at that one time in that one place doing their groovy thing across the board at the pinnacle of their careers, and it gives you the feels.
Yeah, it sounds like you need to see this film.
Yeah, so I'm just waiting for that opportunity that I'm going to go and search it out, and if I do, I'll definitely put my chime in it. But just what I've seen in the rushes and all, and I'm just thoroughly impressed over it. And I haven't even seen the movie yet, so imagine what's going to happen once I do. It's gonna be a party.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we got the news today that Richard Donner passed away at the age of 91, and I tell you, from his filmography is much more robust than I remember it being. I know he's involved in other projects. He executive produced a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. But wow, I mean, I didn't know he had his hands in the Goonies, and I thought, and I remembered maybe that he was part of Lethal Weapon.
Oh yeah, Lethal Weapon.
Yeah. So
here, let me give you something that really blows your mind. He was involved in a kids show that we probably all watched, the Banana Splits.
Holy shit, he was part of the Banana Splits.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Really?
He worked on that show?
Yeah, he was involved in creating the Banana Splits.
Oh my god. You know who else was involved with the Banana Splits, don't you? You know, Mr. Sexy, Robust, black man making all those great records with Love Unlimited. Barry White produced for the Banana Splits on their album.
But, so yeah, that's one. I mean, the list is. I'll give you another one. You probably watched this for the holidays. Scrooged.
Oh, he's part of that. Yeah. Okay, cool. I didn't know that.
Scrooge is one of his.
Yeah, I know he was part. And then heard he was executive produced the X-Men film in 2000.
Lost Boys.
Oh, I didn't know Lost Boys either. How about that?
Lost Boys. That Maverick movie with Mel Gibson and James Garner.
Okay, yeah, I remember
that. 3 episodes of Tales of the Crypt.
Okay, yeah, those were always cool.
The Toy with Richard Pryor.
Yeah, and Jackie Gleason. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Me too. Me too.
Conspiracy Theory. I believe that's the Mel Gibson, Julia Roberts movie.
Yes, I saw that. That was, damn, I remember that being really good.
16 Blocks is a really good film that doesn't get a lot of pub. It's Bruce Willis and is it Desmos? Or I can't remember. If you get time, that's a really solid film that he's done. And then he did Assassins as well. So, and again, I'm looking at his director credits. He did that Lady Hawk show.
Okay.
The one from back in the 80s.
Was that like somewhere about the same time as the Kevin Sorbo Hercules, or?
No. This is early 80s. This is this was the one that had what's her name? The female bodybuilder, Rachel McClish, was in this.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I'm trying to see what else. Let me see what we've got in terms of producing. X-Men Origins Wolverine. Any Given Sunday.
Wow.
From Oliver Stone, he was an executive producer.
Wow.
The Omen.
Yeah, that's where I think where he's got his start in film was with The Omen.
Free Willy.
Wow. That was a tearjerker that I heard.
Yeah, he goes farther back than that, Ivan. Things like, I want to say like The Twilight Zone. I want to say like, I mean, he goes real far. I mean, he goes real far back.
Wow.
I mean, like Wild Wild West, The Fugitive, FBI, Get Smart, Perry Mason.
Yeah, I did a lot of TV stuff.
Island, The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Oh my
Twilight Zone.
I used to watch all of these when I was a kid, man. I used to love these.
He even did 7 episodes of The Rifleman.
Oh, neat. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, he goes that far back. I mean, he's got directing credits all the way. I mean, he's got directing credits all the way back to. I mean, the first one that would be recognizable for us would be not back in 1961. I guess Loretta Lynn did the Loretta Young Show. I don't know who that is.
Oh, I know the Loretta Young Show. Yes, I know that show.
Okay. Yeah, something called Sam Benedict, Have Gun Will Travel.
Yep.
Yeah, yep.
Combat.
Not a 60s
something
TV.
called Mr. Novak.
Yeah, a lot of westerns.
That was TV back then.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like I said, I mean, and then the other, here's the other thing about, I mean, the other thing that really is the real conversation to this that it was funny. I don't know. So it was funny, Mike, on a whim on Clubhouse, I happened to catch a room where they were talking about Richard Donner today. And one of the people who was running the room was Dane Cook.
Wow.
The comedian. Well, okay. Here comes the crazy part. A woman comes into the room, tells us legit, she's the goddaughter. She was the out of nowhere, happened to see the room, popped in. She's the goddaughter of Richard Donner. Just popped into the room, and ironically, it was funny. She was like, I wasn't as big a fan of the Superman stuff. I was more of a fan of like the Lethal Weapons and the Goonies stuff and that kind of stuff. But said he was a real mensch. It was just really crazy. I mean, that's just where Clubhouse does some crazy stuff because, it was interesting because you've got like Dane Cook sitting there talking about, how much Superman meant to him as a kid. You get the idea.
Yeah. Sean Astin posted on Twitter today that Richard Donner had the biggest, boomiest voice you could imagine. He commanded attention, and he laughed like no man has ever laughed before. Dick was so much fun. What I perceived in him as a 12-year-old kid is that he cared. I love how much he cared. Goonies never say die.
Yep, I'm all good for Dick.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, Richard Donner. I know it's been years. It wasn't until the DVD came out of the Donner cut where I finally watched the Richard Donner cut of Superman 1 and 2.
See, that's the other thing I thought was interesting today is I mean, really in reality, could we sit there and really call him the father of the editor, the director's alternative cut? I mean, he's kind of like the reason why that kind of stuff happens these days, isn't it?
Did we get a director's cut of The Godfather? Or wasn't there like an extended cut?
Yes, there was a director's cut of that.
Yeah, I think there were other ones, maybe in like the superhero genre, maybe.
Maybe. It just feels like, especially with some of the other stuff when we hear about like all these superhero, like it just seems like that's like
release the Donner cut, yeah.
With the let's see with the like especially because there've been so many over the years where it's like, well, there were many things that were left on the floor if you allowed me to do my cut. And I'm not just talking about Snyder. I mean,
I know there was a director's cut of Blade Runner.
Right. Or, I've seen the director's cut for the Daredevil movie that was Ben Affleck, and it's much better. You get the idea. But, the only other thing I keep thinking about is just how you're talking about. I mean, think about this. I mean, we're talking about an entire generation of kids who grew up on Superman. I mean, his Superman is the definitive, for an entire generation, is almost the definitive Superman in some ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you on that.
I mean,
yeah.
Maybe in some ways for two generations. I mean, I would kind of sit there and say not just the Gen X generation, but I would say for the Boomer generation too, that that's considered the Superman performance. Even to this day,
where he wanted that balance. He didn't want that 60s camp from the Batman series. He wanted to make it legit. He sprinkled in some humor, but he still wanted it legit.
Well, I mean, even today, they're still looking for a Superman who could be, think about the archetype of what we want Superman to look like. Superman, for the most part, even with Dean, even with the likes of your Dean Cains and your Tyler Hoechins and your Brandon Rouths and even what's his name, the current guy,
Cavill,
the most recent guy,
Henry Cavill,
they all fall somewhat similar to the archetype of Christopher Reeve.
Yeah.
So, I mean, really in reality, we're talking about an entire generation of comic book fans, or individuals who were inspired to write comics or whatnot, so that, the entire comic book community is pretty much,
He was the granddad of the superhero film.
Yeah, well, I guess technically that would be the case. That was really in reality, that is probably the first, in the modern era, that's probably the first superhero movie to do well.
Yeah. That was, legit, and like I said, I keep using that word, but, to have it, not just like for kids,
Yeah. I mean, in fairness, it takes them what? It takes them another 9 years to put Batman on.
That was 79. Right? Was it 78 or 79?
78.
I remember seeing that in the theater, and I was just so scared, that opening scene when Krypton is destroyed and all these people falling down this endless chasm. I was just so scared. I remember seeing that when I was a little kid.
But the point being, I mean, it took them 9 years to get Batman.
A decade, to put Tim Burton's Batman to catapult the superhero genre. And then, after Superman 2 was good, and 3 was, and then 4 was bad. 4 was bad. When he fought Nuclear Man on the moon, it's like, oh boy.
Hey man, the Richard Pryor created kryptonite, even though he put tar in it.
He put something, tobacco or something, I forget.
Tobacco or something in there.
Oh my god.
Not a great, it's not a great.
He 3D printed some kryptonite, and it turned him into an evil Superman, and then he had to fight each other in a junkyard, and you just have to be there, I guess.
Were you knocking the bar?
And the evil Superman bangs the blonde chick.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
No. Oh, no.
So the Superman genre was we have a great deal of debt to Richard Donner. So raise your glass to Richard Donner. Rest in peace and thank you.
Richard Donner, amen.
The thing is too that's interesting to me is, on top of that, in the last 20 years, Richard Donner has done comics with Jeff Johns for Superman. So that's out there too.
Yeah.
So
he cared about the franchise. He knows that his name is forever going to be attached to it.
Right.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I don't.
That's a heck of a way to go.
Well, but look at the impression he left, man.
Yeah.
And it's at your disposal.
Yeah, I went to the 40th anniversary in the theaters of the release of the Superman film.
Mm-hmm.
That was 2018, 2019, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was there, man. It was still very important. I was looking at that Mafex 1/12 scale Christopher Reeve Superman figure, and it looks pretty cool. Because some of the head sculpts, they don't get Christopher Reeve's face quite right. But this one was actually not too bad looking. It'd be pretty cool to have on my shelf.
Yeah. I mean, if they get to the point where it's closer to fine, I guess is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
It's funny looking up stuff on Richard Donner. I mean, unlike, Mike, you were like, okay, I didn't realize he did this or this and that. I mean, I was aware that he did the Lethal Weapons. I was aware of the fact that about Goonies. But it's some of the other projects that he's been involved with where, I guess you really got to put him up there, in that team picture of, when we're talking about the modern era of movie makers. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
and he was present in 60s television too. He helped shape that too.
I mean,
I guess we owe a lot to this gentleman.
Yes, we do.
Well, that's what I mean. I mean, to me, it's interesting because it's like I don't know that I would put him in the same. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I'd say he's in the same vein as like a Lucas or a Spielberg or something. You know what I mean? But if the body of work is there.
Well, would you say Rod Steiger, maybe?
I don't know.
I mean, Richard, not Steiger, Serling. Rod Serling, sorry.
I was going to say Rod Steiger. What?
Oops.
My sister had his album back in the day.
Yeah. Hey, man, in the end, nobody beats Matthew Sweet. We know that.
Oh, we can't draw Matthew Sweet now, okay?
I know.
I was reminding my sister, it was 28 years ago when I saw Matthew Sweet at the Petrilla Shell on Taste of Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
He was just about to put out his fourth album, and I didn't know any of these songs, but I was in front of the Petrilla Shell, and I was sweating my ass off, and it was really hot out there that day. But that was pretty. He still put on a good show.
Oh yeah. We've
28 years ago. Holy shit.
Yeah. We went on several occasions, and it's always consistently good. A lot of energy, a lot of life, a lot of love in what he was doing, and
Richard Donner or Matthew Sweet?
Matthew Sweet.
Right.
Sweet.
Rod Steiger. Yeah, he was an actor.
Rod Steiger.
He was with Sidney Poitier in The Heat of the Night.
I meant Rod Serling.
He played Al Capone.
Rod Steiger, and Matthew Sweet
right.
in.
In the Richard Donner biography.
Yeah.
Hey, anything's
possible. And of course, the villain is Arnold Schwarzenegger on a Segway.
Oh God, I saw this one Terminator meme where it's like, so you retired? He's like, yeah, that's right. I kill bugs now. I am an ex-Terminator.
Don't forget.
Well, if he was a business owner, he would be a determinator.
Mm-hmm.
And if he was the above number, he'd be a numerator.
Mm-hmm. Or he's into kink, he'll be a dominator.
If he's not busy being an instigator. Okay, I tried.
So we got any other news this week?
By the time we're done with this joke, we're going to need a litigator is what we're going
to Okay. Touche, Jim, touche. Yes. I concede. Well played.
No, it's okay. I just laughing because I'm like, yeah, we really are.
Couldn't help but run with it.
This joke is getting stupidator.
Stupidator.
Was this whole thing substantiated? No.
Hey, maybe we should take heed from the Iron Sheik who says, "Go to bed, fuckface."
There you go. How did the Iron Sheik celebrate the 4th of July? Let's find out. Follow the Iron Sheik on Twitter.
It's the Iron Sheik.
Tweet of the week.
See. Happy 4th of July to all my intelligent fans in the greatest country in the world.
Hey.
He doesn't,
Okay.
I'm sorry, I forgot. The big news from Sheik is that he has heat with Panda Express.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Apparently Panda Express, Panda Express, you have heat with me, Bubba. I order a 3-item plate, and when I get home and eat it, there's no fucking fortune cookie, you dumb son of a bitch. My day is ruined.
Little long in the delivery.
Well, it is Sheik. I mean,
did you see this? I forget where this was at. I think it was at the baseball game where the dude catches the ball while he's holding the baby.
Okay. Why is he holding a baby?
Because he's holding a baby. He's at a baseball game. He's got a baby with him, but he happens to catch the ball with his left hand while he's holding the baby with his right hand.
Oh my God! No. Why is this slightly bad? I mean, I hope I'm not misconstruing it into anything.
Yeah, actually, William Shatner posted because Richard Donner directed that famous episode where Shatner there's something on the wing. So William Shatner he posted about the Richard Donner passing. He says it was supposed to be a 4-day shoot, and they cut it in half. They kept us there all night on the second day to finish it. We were sleep deprived. He says he was a wonderful director, he said.
Wow, amazing. To the end.
No.
Let's see.
Anything else from the Iron Sheik?
Under the bridge downtown, that's where I drew some blood when I beat the fuck out of that Hollywood blonde jabroni Hulk Hogan. Hello, Pat Sajak. I would like to buy a fucking vowel. London Bridge is falling down. Go fuck yourself. Anytime you just call my name out loud, I'll be knocking on your door. I come to break your fucking jabroni's back.
Almost got it.
As your trusted advisor, don't be a dumb son of a bitch. If you are in the Wiggle House today, I swear to Jesus, I break your fucking neck.
The Jiggle House?
The Wiggle House. Maybe he's got a problem with the Wiggles? Wow, okay. I don't know.
Okay.
I got nothing. That's...
Well, we've exhausted that.
Are we ready to see Black Widow?
Yeah, I am.
Yes, I am.
There was a clip. They played a clip. I left the room because I'm like, no, an exclusive preview from the Black Widow coming July 9th. And I'm like, oh no, I have to leave the room because I don't want to watch the film before I see the film.
So where does this fall in?
Between Civil War and Infinity War. That's what I think. That's where I think it falls. Maybe it falls. Maybe when she goes into hiding after Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Maybe it falls between those two, like Winter Soldier and Civil War. But I was under the presumption this takes place between Civil War and Infinity War.
It might. I do not know.
No, we're going to find out.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, there's going to be weenies and burgers and all kinds of stuff, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah,
it's gonna be the best time.
Well, as of now, they're calling for mid to upper 70s and a 30% chance of showers. So hopefully we won't get rained out.
Oh, it's gonna be a pretty day.
Oh, now they're saying 50% chance of storms. Shit.
Pizza
Well,
it is. Sold.
You know what? Hey, let's soldier on. Damn the torpedoes. You know what I mean?
That's all right. I'll have Ivan to hold the umbrella.
I'd make a great ground, wouldn't I?
Who in turn will have Julie hold the umbrella.
No, she'll be busy petting the cat.
Hey, I don't know if I could, Mike. I don't know if you can look and find this. Screen Rant is claiming that Hugh Jackman's hinting to a return as Wolverine.
I only saw Logan once, and it was a perfect exit for Hugh Jackman's Wolverine character. He's getting too old to play Wolverine. He might be jacked still. He's getting too old to play it. Get somebody else to play Wolverine.
Yeah. Well, he is Jack Man. So.
Yes, he is jacked man, but I mean, he's still like, you like it like how paunchy he was in the first X-Men, and then like how muscular he was in Logan and X3, or I mean, Days of Future Past.
Right.
Yeah, he's getting too old. Like, okay,
well,
sure.
apparently he put something up on his, is this Instagram?
I don't know.
Sort of
One of
picture
those.
of him with some sort of picture of a fist with the spikes coming out like the claws, and then he had another out there with a picture of him and Kevin Feige together. So who knows?
Maybe another multiverse thing. Who knows?
Well, that would be my thought. That I think that's the. If they did it, I think that's the real answer. Is that
as a one-off multiverse?
Well, yeah, or he could be from Wolverine from a different,
Yeah.
You get the idea.
So, okay, I guess that'll do this week.
Yeah.
We're on Instagram and Twitter at SOTRT Podcast. We're on YouTube. Click the bell, subscribe, get new content. Download the show on your usual podcast hosting platforms. iTunes, Google, Spotify. Anchor.fm/SOTRT is the easiest way on your home computer.
Yeah, do it or I make you humble, bitch.
That's right. Breaker and Overcast are also the smaller ones as well. I think Radio Public, I'm not sure. But and we're on Facebook. Follow us there. We got some memes to share and geek news articles and just sometimes just funny stuff. Java and Ivan is Ivan's handle on Twitch.tv.
Yeah.
Jeff is everywhere at Steinemite Productions. Email us with comments, questions, threats, insults. We don't care. SOTRTpodcast@gmail.com.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us today here on the news of the squares of the round table. Yeah, baby.
Christ. We don't do the news anymore.
I don't even want to know how that happens.
It must have been a quote from Rod Steiger.
Yes.
Seriously.
All right. Cough, cheese,
Cough,
sneeze.
die.
Dead. See you next week.